Hello everyone, my name is Mirko and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another brand new Apex Legends video. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about the top 3 legends you guys should be using in ranked mode, and also going to give an explanation on why I haven't chosen the other legends to put in my top 3. I feel like it's important to explain why the other legends aren't worthy to be in the top 3, because some of you guys might be using legends that I haven't mentioned in the top 3, and I'm going to give an explanation on why these are the best top 3 legends you should consider using in ranked mode. Anyway, if you guys do go ahead and enjoy the video, be sure you're dropping a thumbs up down below, and if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that as well so you don't miss any future Apex videos on the channel. And if any of you are wondering why my voice sounds completely different, I'm using a new microphone and this is the first video using the new mic. So when it comes to legends choices, we've got quite a few options in regards to playstyle choices and also aggressive or defensive sorts of playstyles. There is a legend for everyone out there with all sorts of playstyles and strategies. But when it comes to rank mode, there are some legends that just outshine other legends, and the first legend that is in my top 3 is Pathfinder. Now Pathfinder is an amazing legend. I still feel like he needs a slight nerf. He's just unbelievable at times. I'm sure most of you guys are aware how great his tactical ability is. I actually made a video on how to grapple like a pro using Pathfinder. You can grapple so far and you can go flying in this game using this grapple, and that is the first reason why it's really good. His tactical ability just outshines another legend like Octane. Pathfinder's grapple, which is a tactical ability, can do much better than Octane's ultimate ability. You can go further and you can go higher at times as well, and you can travel much faster than using Octane's jump pads. Octane's stim compared to Pathfinder's grapple is also no competition at all. Now Pathfinder's ultimate ability, being able to place a zip line quite far out and use it almost anywhere on the map, is actually really good in ranked, especially towards the late game where you use a rotate and you're quite far out from the place you want to be. Using the zip line is absolutely crucial. It will help you rotate faster than any other player, and it will also help you gain a height advantage. But as I said, you need to know how to use Pathfinder to fully benefit from him. I mean, if you don't know how to use his grapple that much, I would suggest looking on YouTube. Look at my video I made a few months ago on how to use his grapple, because if you don't know how to use him properly, you won't get the full benefits of him. And as I spoke so badly of Octane, I'm sure you guys can guess he won't be in my top 3, purely because he does get outshined by Pathfinder. He is in Pathfinder's shadow, and although Octane can be good in certain situations with the stim, I just feel like his stim compared to Pathfinder's grapple and his ultimate compared to Pathfinder's ultimate is just no competition at all. Now the next legend that is going to be placed in my top 3 for ranked mode is Wraith. Now Wraith is an absolutely amazing legend. We all know how good Wraith really is, but in ranked mode she's at a whole new level, and I don't see enough people actually using Wraith in ranked mode. Now when it comes to Wraith's tactical ability, she basically gives you a second chance in the gunfight. I mean, you can back out at any time by popping her tactical ability and completely disengage from the gunfight without any harm at all, which I think is absolutely amazing, especially when you're going against good players every single game. The fact that you get that second chance to retreat completely harm free gives you a massive advantage in ranked mode. You could even try and approach enemies engaged with a gunfight, and if you feel like it's not going your way, you can just pop her tactical ability and disengage completely, which is a huge advantage against any other player that isn't using Wraith. Now of course other legends have some really good disengage ability, such as Octane using the stim, Pathfinder using the grapple, but all of these legends you can't actually disengage harm free, and with Wraith you won't actually take any damage at all disengaging, which is also really good in other situations as well. If you're trying to push opponents and go to the next closest point of cover, you can also pop her ability and just close the gap between you and the enemy. Now her ultimate ability is also another reason why you should be picking Wraith over other legends in ranked mode, because using her ultimate ability, using them portals, can really help you and your team rotate much easier, and it can also help your team in other situations as well. You can use Wraith's ultimate in a number of ways to really benefit your team. For example, you can use her as a complete disengage tool. You can set one portal really far out and you can set one portal close to the enemy team, and your whole team have the option then to disengage from the gunfight. Her ultimate is something that benefits the whole team just as much as it benefits yourself. So if you really want to think about your team just as much as yourself, this is actually a really good legend to go for, and I'd recommend you use Wraith. Now the last legend that is going to be completing my top 3 for this video is Bloodhound. Now if you guys don't know and you haven't watched my last video, I'd recommend you watch it. Bloodhound received the most overpowered buff in season 2 that I think any legend has ever ever received before, because I'm sure most of you guys are aware that when you were using Bloodhound's tactical, it will take a screenshot on image of where the enemy was placed previously, but now when you use his tactical, you can actually see where the enemies are moving in real time. Now when you start getting to them higher ranks, there's going to be a lot of players left towards the late stages of the game. Sometimes you can even have 15 plus players left in such a small circle, and being able to see players behind walls and see where players are positioned before entering buildings is so advantageous. I cannot explain how many times this has actually saved me, and the fact that you can track where they're actually moving in real time will give you a good example of what door they're going out of, for example, or where they're running towards, and you can catch them off guard almost every single time. And Bloodhound's ultimate turns you into an absolute beast, let's be honest. I mean, you can run so much more faster, every enemy appears in red, even from really long range, so you can easily spot enemies around the map. And you also have a really high field of view. You could just go on an absolute rampage as soon as you activate this thing, and it's really helped me pick off even 3 people on the same team at times in a short period of time. I do think Bloodhound is slightly overpowered ever since they received that buff a few weeks ago, and you should definitely enjoy Bloodhound while they last, because I do think Bloodhound is going to get patched very soon. So they are the top 3 legends I believe are the best legends to be playing ranked modes with, but now I want to speak about the legends that I haven't chosen and why I haven't chosen them to be in my top 3. So the first off, we're going to go with Lifeline. Now Lifeline is a very good legend, do not get me wrong, but the problems I have with her are, number 1, she can't cause an impact on the game or change the way the game is being played purely because of her abilities, and number 2 is that her care package just reveals your position way too much for my liking, and when you're playing in ranked mode against very good players, that is an easy way for them to detect where a team are. Mirage, yet again, is a really good legend, but the reason why I didn't include Mirage in my top 3 is because when you're going against good players every single game, them good players can actually detect which is a decoy and which isn't a decoy, and it's actually pretty pointless when you think about it, because if good players can detect your ultimate and your tactical ability, then it's almost useless actually using him in the first place. Now I was actually really close to using Caustic in my top 3, but the reason why I didn't use Caustic in the end is because he doesn't give you much variety in terms of what a legend does. He is focused purely on the gas, and his ultimate ability is this massive gas grenade, and his tactical ability is that he can drop canisters, which I'm sure we've all had a problem with in Apex Legends. That's what I was going to consider him for the top 3, but the fact that he hasn't got that much variety or flexibility and he's purely focused on one thing, then that's why I decided to not include him. But he is still a really great legend, especially toward them late stages of the game. If you want to lock down an area, using his gas canisters is really advantageous. Now Gibraltar, I think, is actually a really underrated legend, and his defensive bombardment is really good for forcing players out of a specific area, and obviously his dome of protection is really good. It actually lasts for 15 seconds, but I just feel like the abilities that the other top 3 legends offer are much more beneficial, especially if you're playing ranked mode, and that's why I didn't include him in my top 3. Now what we're left with is Bangalore and Watson. Now I want to speak about Watson in particular because some people might be asking, why did you not include Watson in your top 3? Well, Watson is a great legend, don't get me wrong, but her tactical ability is what I feel actually lets her down a lot. She deploys electrical fences, I'm sure most of you guys are aware, but these electrical fences are actually really easily destroyable with about 1 or 2 bullets, and they're easily visible as well, even from halfway across the map. She is really good for stopping enemy flank routes and holding down a certain area, but really good players know that it only takes a couple of bullets to completely ruin that fence, and that's why I feel like she's slightly overrated. And even if someone does come in between the fence, then they just take a little bit of damage and they're stunned for a few seconds. It's not that much of a big deal. I've also found that her ultimate ability takes an awfully long time to heal up your shield, and it's almost pointless waiting because it really takes a long time and you're better off shielding up yourself. But I do still rate her as a fairly average legend, and if you were to use her, you could still take advantage in some certain situations. And as for Bangalore, I don't think the smokes are going to cut it for his tactical ability, because other legends are using other tactical abilities which will completely outshine smokes, and players are actually learning to push people that are using smoke grenades on down downed players because they know that you're going to try and go in for the revive, and if you're using it to retreat from other enemies, they can still shoot at you. They can't see you as well, but they can still shoot at you and guess where you are, and usually if you're really low health, that's what you're going to tend to do if you're using Bangalore. That will just give the enemy more of a reason to try and shoot at you. So anyway guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and let me know down below what legends you're using in ranked mode at the moment if you're playing ranked mode. As I said, these are the top 3 legends I think are the best legends to be using if you're playing ranked mode, especially when you're in the mid to top tier ranks. You definitely want to be picking your legend wisely, and a legend that is specifically suited to your playstyle. So anyway, thank you all for watching this Apex Legends video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure you're dropping a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, be sure you're subscribing so you don't miss out on any future Apex content. Thank you all for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch all of you guys out in another brand new Apex Legends video.